Hi everyone, how's the start of your week going? I am back with another episode of the last week in DeFi. So we're going to be looking at our DFI or DeFi Index token, and you can see it right here on the screen in front of you, or you can listen to it right here on the podcast. Let's have a look at the way the constituents are organized as of the latest rebalance happened on February 16th. So the next rebalance will be sometime next week actually. And as it stands, AMP is number one with 14.78%. Curve DAO at the bottom with 10.52%. So DeFi contains all those DeFi protocols, the famous ones that we all know. And let's have a look at the price action for the week. So DeFi currently at $2.15. It started off right on the 1st of March at $2.43. It's had a bunch of horizontal action. So on the 4th of March, it was about $2.28. Again, a lot more horizontal action. Overall, it's been down. On the 7th of March, $2.16. And then ending off today, which is the 8th of March at 6 p.m., $2.15, right? At the moment, the discount on exchanges is 8.04%. Our total market cap is $230,000. All right, interesting. Now, the market's been all over the place, right? Ukraine tensions are still going on. That's driving up the price of oil. This week,
the suffering we now see in Ukraine is horrific. It affects us all.
The decision today is not without cost here at home. Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump. Since Putin began his military buildup on Ukrainian borders, just since then, the price of the gas at the pump in America went up 75 cents. And with this action, it's going to go up further. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
We're finally going to get that announcement from the Biden administration about crypto regulation in the States. Whether that's going to be good or bad is anybody's guess. Usually markets react badly to regulation, but you guys know what I think about regulations, but I'm not going to go into that again. All right, and as the way this episode works, for anyone who's new to this podcast, new to the video, we're going to be talking about AMP, and then we're going to go all the way down to Curve as the last thing we talk about. And this is a once a week podcast, but we'll talk about more of that at the end. So let's get on to AMP's news. So AMP doesn't have a lot of news today. AMP is a digital collateral token, for those who don't know. But AMP's basically biggest news for the last week has been that AMP is now going to be listed on Digifinex. And as you know, we were just listed on Digifinex for Soli and Pico. So generally speaking, right, being listed on an exchange is usually good for traffic, right? Usually good for trade volume. More trade volume means more exposure, generally speaking. We're going to have to see how this affects AMP token. But yeah, very simple, very easy, not much to talk about there. Let's go on to talk about Maker. Maker is number 2. So Maker is a bit more interesting. So Maker posted this question, which I thought was very interesting. Which layer 2 would you prefer for moving your DAI? You know, DAI is the stable coin of the Maker ecosystem. And Arbitrum is number 2, right? Despite being really, really popular towards the end of 2021. What a lot of people have voted for, and this is not a few hundred people, this is 4,864 people. That's a fair number of people. They voted for ZkSync at 47%. Now, layer 2s, for those of you who don't know, right? Ethereum is slow. Ethereum is expensive if you're transferring, if you're swapping, if you're buying NFTs. Layer 2s hope to alleviate that, and some of them right have virtually zero gas fees or very cheap gas fees, and they process transactions very fast. Ethereum has something along the lines of 15 transactions per second. Some of these layer 2 solutions, now Polygon's not on there, they go up to the thousands of transactions per second. Of course, nobody as fast as Solana just yet, but there's something to be said here. And then there's somebody says right here, Arbitrum and optimism will fail against ZkSync and Starknet. Okay. And let's have a look at what ZkSync is, right? Because you guys know when it comes to this podcast, this video, I love looking at technologies and introducing you guys to new technologies maybe you're not very familiar with, and maybe breaking it down and making it simple. Rely on math, not validators. So validators are the people who validate transactions on the blockchain, right? It says ZkSync solves Ethereum scalability with zero security compromises. So scalability means more transactions per second. Zero security compromises, we know hacks happen all the time in crypto. They're saying that they're more secure. And Vitalik Buterin says, in the medium to long term, ZK rollups will win out in all use cases as ZkSync technology improves. I'm not going to read through all of these. Security and UX first. UX is user design. ZkSync is Ethereum's most user-centric ZK rollup. Now, I don't have any experience with this. I believe I'm a good measure of usability because I'm a very typical crypto user. All right. So it's uncapped security. Unlike any other scaling approach, ZK rollup has no upper bound on the value it can securely handle in L2. So that means, oh, there's no upper limit. That's cool. Unlike optimistic rollups, all assets can be moved capitally efficiently and fast between ZK rollup and L1. So from the layer 2 to the L1, protocols can migrate from L1 to L2 gradually. 0.5k gas per transaction. Live since June 2020. ZkSync has the lowest real transaction cost. TX is transaction cost across all existing and planned rollups. Visa scale is possible today with 2,000 plus transactions per second. ZkSync also supports meta transactions, instant confirmations with economic finality, low-cost privacy, and more. I'm really going to have to give some of this a try. By developers for developers. So that's interesting. Smart contracts in Solidity. This is upcoming, so not available just yet. Decentralized on principle. Very interesting. Fairness, inclusion, resilience. We believe that only the paranoid survive. To resist even the most powerful potential adversaries, ZkSync is going down the path of progressive decentralization. So more and more decentralized, right? Almost all sites have these. Owned by the community, ZkSync is 100% open source. Good, so everyone can understand the source code. I'm going to subscribe here. Very interesting. And then it says ZkSync V2 now on testnet. So always improving is good. And that's good for MakerDAO, that people are interested in that, and cheap for you to move your DAI around as well. Now let's move on to the next piece of news, which is about Unigrants. This is another piece of really interesting news, right? And there's the good old Uniswap unicorn over there. Unigrants community analytics, program objectives, produce analytics that educate the community and drive growth, allocate Uni governance tokens to active participants through bounties, crowdsource analytics and data-backed commentary to increase the discovery and sharing of information on Uniswap ecosystem. So this is the rules of the game. Every 2 weeks, we post new bounties for community members like yourself to work on. The work can take the form of a dashboard, data analysis article, interactive visualization, data-backed commentary piece, etc. The graph dune, okay, we know all of that. Criteria of evaluation, this explains how they're going to evaluate it. So these are the 2 current bounties available at the moment, right? Bounty number 3, Uniswap 2 versus Uniswap 3. So let's have a look. The end date is the 11th of March. So today is a Tuesday. That'd be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Friday, right? So it says Uniswap version 3 on L1 has been live for 10 months. V2 for 22 months. A lot has happened, right? Pick a fixed time frame that you think shows some interesting trends and insights and provide analytics and commentary on observed differences and changes in various metrics. Things of interest can include but not restricted to liquidity, migration and fragmentation, swap volumes, swap transaction sizes. This explains it. Very cool, very interesting. All right, Uniswap governance, we're not going to have a look at that. So I like this idea. I like the idea of getting the community involved, allowing people to provide analytics and encouraging interest in Uniswap, encouraging interest in what is going on in Uniswap, because Uniswap is the largest sort of DEX out there in the world. Nothing compares into it. If you watched our podcast that released this past weekend, we talked about Pico, right? And in Pico, it compared DEXs. It basically compared like QuickSwap, it compared Uniswap, it compared Orca on Solana. And basically, Uniswap just has such a huge amount of traffic, and there's probably lots of data that goes on there that is just really not analyzed. Okay, now, if you're able to, I definitely think you should take advantage of this. And it says previous challenge winners. I wonder how much what is the amount of money, and these are the winners, right? Crony Uniswap V3, but this doesn't say how much money it is. That's okay. I'm sure it is a decent amount of money. I did remember seeing something along the lines of $1,500 in Uniswap tokens every 2 weeks, which is a decent amount, right? Oh, these are the memorable submissions. So maybe potentially that's 6 people divided by $1,500. That's $200 plus $250 a person. That's decent money for putting in some research, getting some experience in crypto. All right, and let's move on to Chainlink. Now, today's Chainlink story apparently is not a new story because I looked into this a bit more. This happened last year in December. It says Floki, now connected with Chainlink, generate multiple revenues and usage options. Floki Inu connected with Chainlink and its Oracle in an effort to enter the decentralized finance industry, giving Floki holders the multiple revenue generating and usage options DeFi. So this story is basically along the lines of what Shiba Inu and Floki are trying to do, in that they are meme coins, and I'm not a big fan of meme coins as well. I think a lot of people who are into crypto are not fans of meme coins. So what they're trying to do, and I don't know a lot about Floki, but I know Shiba has like staking, Shiba has NFTs.
Finally, Binance just launched Shiba Inu coin on its own locked staking. Now you can stake your Shiba Inu on locked staking and earn up to 33%. Here you will see 4 duration period, 15 days, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. Each duration has different percentage. Now you can stake your Shiba Inu coin and earn free Shiba Inu on your Binance wallet.
You go to their site, you stake your Shiba, and you get a leash and this bone, and there's a whole bunch of utility available with this meme coin. And now with DeFi, you've options. So Shiba is elevating itself and Floki in the same way, that you're not just a meme coin, you're not just staking, you potentially have options to swap, potentially have options to do a whole bunch of stuff. And with Chainlink as your oracle, right, this allows you to aggregate pricing data off chain, making it available immediately on chain for apps, for swapping if there's a Floki Inu swap or something like that. Play to earn games as well. Oracles are 100% secure data, so that there's no chance of it being influenced by anyone. I think it's cool. It shows that even if you start off as a meme coin, there's the possibility to go somewhere as long as there's a big community push. And again, another piece of side news is that like Floki rarely closed the gap between Floki and Shiba ending off last year. So I'm gonna have to see what these two do, because I believe Shiba and Floki are the two biggest sort of meme coins. Bigger than, maybe not bigger than Doge. No, I'm pretty sure about that. Doge is still like in the top 15 in terms of market cap, but Doge doesn't have any of this. Doge is just Dogecoin. So the next piece of news is about Loopring, right? We have 980 loop heads up for grabs. Second loop head dynamic NFT drop. The contest starts immediately March 3rd and will last the entire month. So loop heads are these NFTs. If you have watched our previous videos about Loopring, you would have seen them. I don't have a picture right now, but they're just NFTs. The way this works, L2 deposits are the name of the game, and the users who make an ETH, LRC, USDC, USDT, ENS, or Uni deposit into Loopring L2 will have a chance to win a loop head NFT. To be eligible, users might first start with a minimum deposit of $100 US during the specific dates and second. That's actually pretty cheap, $100, right? Maybe not cheap for everyone, I should say that, but relatively cheap. Users have a chance to win a loop head either via lucky draw or by placing in the top 300 highest net deposits, because highest net deposits basically means all the whales are going to get the NFTs and a lot of the regular people are not. Essentially, a TVL increase of $100 or more into your L2 account from the start of the month to the end of the month will qualify you for a lucky draw. So this explains Ethereum L1 to Loopring Layer 2, withdrawals from Sexes to Loopring L2 via Layer Swap, Fiat to Loopring V2 via Ramp or Bank. This explains how to win. So cool. NFTs are cool. Despite the NFT market having cooled off a fair bit and prices going down, I think NFTs not going to go like, they're not going to bottom out at a Bored Ape, right? Sells for 80 Ethereum at the moment. It's not going to drop down to 10. I think there's going to be a cooling off, and then there's going to be an upcycle again at some point in the future. Now, the next piece of news I want to talk about is really interesting, as SEBA Bank adds support for Aave and Chainlink tokens to enable institutional DeFi access. So SEBA Bank is a Swiss bank, right? when this is SEBA Bank, a FINMA licensed Swiss bank providing a seamless, secure, and easy to bridge between digital and traditional assets, today announced that it is expanding its comprehensive offering into DeFi with support added for Aave and Chainlink. So again, if you had listened to past episodes, you would know that Switzerland, Vietnam, Nigeria are some of the top countries when it comes to crypto, in terms of crypto adoption. There was a town, Swiss town, right, called Lugo, where Bitcoin will soon become legal tender there. The Swiss are definitely far ahead in terms of crypto adoption. Now, this is the first bank that I guess they're working with Aave. They'll give people or institutional investors access to Aave via what you would imagine your typical bank's online banking system to be. And that's easy. I think if my bank in Taiwan had this option where I could do my crypto investing through my banking interface, God, I would jump all over that. I would stop the MetaMask, I'd stop the Phantom wallet, just because all of that is just way too tiring and way too much effort. It's also very stressful. I don't remember what I did the other weekend. I was trying to do some liquidity mining with Elk Finance, and Elk Finance is like a protocol that is available on like 10 different chains, right? And you can swap between chains very quickly, very easily, and you can do a whole bunch of interchain crypto stuff. Very cool. It was my first time playing around with, because my goal is, as a crypto person, as somebody who works in crypto right for a month, is to try new stuff in crypto all the time, right? To try and better my knowledge and learn stuff as well. And that was fascinating, but it was still very stressful and not cool. And I think I'd love all of this crypto stuff to be in like a HSBC interface or a Citibank interface or whatever everyone's bank is, and do it in a very easy, seamless, and accessible way. And this is it. Very cool. Let me remind everyone, as usual, if you want to read these stories, right, please click on your podcast app, click on the YouTube video, click down and click on the links, read this for yourself if you're not interested in my take. Some of these are really interesting stories. You could even do more research, right? You could even come to Telegram, Discord, tweet at us on Twitter what you think about the story, because I'd love to hear people's opinions. Let's talk about the graph. So the graph has their own day. Graph Day, June 2nd, 2022 in San Francisco, a 4-day event. Get your ticket. Tickets are limited. MegaDAO had this event, right? We talked about this a few weeks ago on another DeFi podcast. Changes in the air. So I guess the Web3 community at the Historic Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. A 3-day hackathon. That's very cool. Register for the hackathon speakers, right? Alexandru Baboy, Graph Index and co-founder, Alex Bourget, co-founder and CTO, Arjun Bhattani, founder and CTO at Connext. Oh, Camila Russo, right, from the Defiant is going to be there, of course. Everyone knows the Defiant. Django, executive director, DWeb Foundation. Let me see if there's anyone else famous who's joining. Oh, Gitcoin, Kevin Owocki, that's cool. And Odious, co-founder and CEO Ronil Romberg. Odious is the sort of crypto audio platform, very cool. AR Weave is going to be there. Okay, Sam Williams, a very young looking dude, as you can see by his picture. So a very cool chance to go if you're in California, even if you're in America and you're into crypto and you want to go be part of a great event. This sounds like something interesting. Sounds like something a lot of people would enjoy or be interested in. And if you're one of those people, I'd love to go. I have, particularly in my circumstances, I have 17 days worth of quarantine in Taiwan if I come back. And it's not worth it, because it is, on top of being very expensive, it's really not worth it. And we're almost done, guys. I know these DeFi episodes are really long, but we've got 2 more pieces of news and then we're done. Oh, this is the last piece of news. So, as you guys would have heard this week, right, Andre Cronje, in South Africa we call it Cronje, that him and the other guy, Antonell, like getting out of DeFi, dropping off, and I think 35 projects of theirs are just stopping. Basically, there's no development being going on, and what this happened is this person called OX Alunara has said he's put up a mirror website for V-Curve Bribe site. He's not going to develop it any further. A lot of people in Curve would still like to use this system. And we've talked about the system before, that basically it incentivizes people to stake their Curve. And it's, instead of you doing it in a very complicated way, this makes it easy for people who are on Curve. So this has been big news this week, right? Phantom was the biggest thing that sort of took a big hit on centralized exchanges, because Cornelia was one of the people in Phantom, and the Phantom Foundation have been like, don't worry, it's okay. And it is okay. He's just one person. But I guess this comes down to, I guess, my speciality here, which is understanding people, and that a lot of people in crypto, I would say, they focus around the gods. Not even in crypto, I guess in industries, right? It's, if Elon Musk left Tesla, Tesla's stock price would take a huge hit, because you have a lot of these like really successful, really inspirational, really charismatic people. They give you hope for the future with regards to a particular company or an organization. Forget Tesla, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, Lisa Su from AMD. There's a whole bunch of these people. I'm listing off all the tech people because I'm a big tech head. But yeah, so I think everything's going to be fine. I think a lot of these people will be forced to come together and come up with a new plan, and to give people confidence in their system. Like Phantom's going to have to do that as well, because I think when I checked it this morning, Phantom was sitting at $1.40 or so. Anyway, let's look at the site. So as you can imagine, that this literally looks the same as the original Curve Bribe site. That you can see the source code is over here. So you get to still do everything you want, which is wonderful that somebody stepped up. And I guess that's the beauty of crypto. So guys, this is it. And thank you very much for watching. It's been nice making this video again, and nice using my green screen, because as you can see, I could get to move my head and you don't get to see like the weird stuff behind me. I hope you like it, and please don't forget to share, subscribe. We want more people to watch this. And so this coming week, we're going to have my coworker Adam. I will be interviewing him, my former coworker, I should say. We've been talking about crypto. If you have any questions for him, right, about why he's not into crypto, why anything related to Adam, he's been living in Taiwan for over a decade, let me know. You can contact me there. We're going to be talking about all things crypto related with him on the weekend. It's going to be Friday night, 11 p.m. I might even try to do it live, actually, to our Amun YouTube channel. That would be something nice to try. I'll have to see if that works. I'm going to try and get another interview for next week. If you're interested, please let me know. I'd love to talk to anybody in the audience. Otherwise, guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and see you this weekend.